Hello, everybody. So, I am getting started on a new piece today. I just got commissioned to create. Oh, why am I hearing myself? Give me just a moment. Here we go. All right, there we go. I just got commissioned to create a stylized portrait for a storefront for Etsy. So that's what I'm going to be working on. Oh, I've got everything set up here. I've got my reference photos, so I'm just going to get started. Later on, I'll probably be working on. Let me see here. Later on, I'll probably be working on this piece. It's a personal piece. I don't know. There we go. But for now, I don't know how that ended up on the same thing. Here we go. For now, I'm working on my commission because I get paid for that. Yeah, I'm all set up. Cool. Okay, so this Etsy shop is a um, nerdy Etsy shop that makes like fantasy circlets for people. Very elven. So I'm excited to work on it. It's right up my alley. And I just did something stupid. I always sketch on the wrong layer. I'm gonna choose like a really light gray for the background for now. I just don't like working on white. Should probably switch back to black. There we go. Okay. So I was thinking of doing a pretty like graphic, like punchy image because this is going to be an Etsy like avatar. So square format, small image. You don't want it, you want it to read on all sizes. So getting my basic shapes down. Okay, so she's got like, let's make this like 70% and see. Let's just go to, okay, she's got like hooded eyes and her eyebrows are pretty flat on there, pretty like almond shaped. Okay. It's funny, I look at faces kind of like a makeup artist because I used to work for for Ulta. And I don't know, I guess I always thinking like, oh, she has hooded eyes. She does her makeup like this. This is supposed to be a stylized portrait, so I'm definitely going to make the eyes a little bit bigger than they actually would be. I've been doing this thing lately with the circle behind the eyes. It helps me kind of imagine the eyelids going across the eyeball, if that makes any sense. Helps me to imagine it three-dimensionally when I'm drawing. Watch me work. Okay, cool. I usually don't. Well, I try not to start my streams with such beginning stages. I don't know if that's interesting to you guys. I kind of feel like once it's a little bit more polished, it's more fun to watch. But, I don't know, I guess this is a good part of the process to watch too. She's got like Rhine. What are you freaking out about? No. You stop that. Go lay down. Go lay down. He saw a dog outside, so of course he had to freak out. Alright, since she has hooded eyes, though, she's not going to have. forehead's pretty high, which means the circlets will look really nice on her. I feel like her jawline's a little bit more. Girlfriend's got some cheekbones. Okay, and kind of want to give her like a sassy, like quirked eyebrow. Like, definitely gonna do the elf hair here. How they always got that like piece coming down over the ears. This is kind of a perfect job for me because I get to paint. She told me she wanted elf ears. I get to paint an elf and get paid for it. I mean, dream job. I might do like wind though, so maybe I give this some movement. I was thinking of doing like just a simple kind of fantasy looking dress, kind of like that really kind of low collar one that Arwen wears in Lord of the Rings in the first movie. Alright, and I want to move this and also resize it for now. Hello. Nice to have you on the chat. I'm doing pretty good. I've had a good day so far. I got a job proposal for from an app company that's on my ArtStation account. And then someone commissioned me to work on their Etsy page to make their avatars and everything. So it's been a good day. Wait, what did I just do? Whatever I just did was weird. Undo. Yeah, I like rotated it. Weird. Okay. I'm gonna make a new layer. Apply transformation. How are you? I just want the elliptical marquee tool. Let's get a circle. I can resize that after. And then the paint bucket. It's a little too white. Here we go. Oops, I have my caps lock on. Okay, so now I'm gonna go to resize this. I feel like it's a little big. Well, actually, you know what I should do? Right there. Alright, cool. Okay. Apply that. Nope, I don't hear any of you speaking. That is so weird. Let me go into... It's capturing my mic. Let me see here. Hmm. You know what? Maybe it will work better now. I just want to go live. How do I do that? Okay. Now? You can hear me now? Okay. I must have had my, I've got a little slider on my thing here. Okay, cool. I'm muting myself again. Cool. Yeah, I'm doing really well. I've been talking this whole time and I didn't realize you couldn't hear me. I'm just working on a commission. I'm designing an Etsy store, like, avatar right now. And it's kind of a perfect job for me because I get to draw an elf and get paid for it. So dreams do come true. Oh, yeah, it's fine. Okay. Let's go back to painting. Um, yeah, and I also got a job offer from an app company earlier today on my, they saw my art station and they really liked it. So I'm pretty new to illustration. I've only been working in Photoshop for like 4 or 5 months now. And before that, I was just doing traditional work, but infrequently. I wasn't really taking it seriously. So anytime I get a job or a job offer, I get super excited. I am using, sorry, there's a little bit of lag on the alerts. I'm using Photoshop. I always paint in Photoshop. I'm in Chicago, well, just outside Chicago. Singapore, cool. I was talking to another girl from Singapore, Karen Art, on right on Watch Me Work. She's super talented. She took a course with Art Germ, and her work is just really, really nice. So it must be like 11 or 12 at night in Singapore. It's only 8 in the morning here. I generally don't spend a lot of time on sketching and doing line work. I paint more the volume and colors than I do with contour lines. But where this is such a like stylized piece, I'm wanting this to be at least somewhat clean going into it so I can easily pick out the areas that I want to have different shading on. Why does this not want to open right now? There we go. Oh, it's 9 p.m. Yeah, I should have remembered that. It's like 13 hours ahead. And where this image is going to be relatively small, especially if you're browsing the Etsy store on a mobile device, it has to be super readable. So I'm not going to cram it with too much detail. I just want the colors to work really well and the design to look really nice. But I actually draw that to make it look like it's draping. So are you an illustrator too, or what brings you to watch me work? Okay. So let's get the hair kind of cleaned up. Oh, that's too bad. Oh, I've got a pretty, like, my internet is pretty fast, and I've got a solid state drive, and I think that helps with the speed. I don't think I lag too much, but I could see that could be like an issue on if your machine isn't. Cool. You should link your art pages. I'd love to see. I remember she had like a really cool pendant here. Yay, Instagram! Copy. Oh! Why that didn't work. Maybe I didn't copy the link correctly. Oh, I missed the T at the end. There we go. Oh, cool. You do like chibi art. Very nice. Copic markers. Oh, those phone cases are so cute. Very nice. I'll give you a follow. I like your setup. It's cute. I feel like this is a little off center. That feels better. I don't do a lot of portrait work, but I always find it to be really fun. Oh, no problem. I love getting to know the artists on here. I've met some really cool people. It's too bad that you can't stream right now. I don't have the best setup at the moment. Like I really need to get a second monitor so that I don't have to be in windowed mode. But I always get these weird jittery lines if I just try to do a single swipe. There we go. But yeah, I've met some really cool people on here, made some friends. So mine is hardwired too. I don't like going with Wi-Fi. think I'm gonna do some cool like backlighting behind her neck. I've seen that done a few times on Instagram. Hmm, weird. I hope you figure it out. In the meantime, just keep making art. I have improved so much since I started painting every single day. It's kind of crazy. I don't like this edge here. I really just want to skip ahead to adding color, but I know that the more information I put down during the line art phase, or the sketch phase, the easier it will be to color later, so. You know what? I don't think I like this piece. I've heard some really great things about the iPad Pro Create app. I went to the app to an Apple store a while ago and tried it out because they did have it on the little demo that you can use in the store. And it feels nice, but I feel like I would only use that to sketch. I wouldn't use it for anything professional or anything larger. Like I would just basically use the iPad Pro as a digital sketchbook, which would be really cool, but I don't really need it at the moment. I'd much rather upgrade my drawing tablet because I'm using a Wacom Bamboo right now. So it's not, that's their lowest quality drawing tablet. So that will probably be where my next investment will go. But it feels very nice drawing on the iPad. I love the pencil. I like that you can use the side of it. I had it in pencil mode and I like tilted the lead and it actually worked like that. It feels very nice. I don't know. I'd like to get a Cintiq someday, but I don't think it's necessary for me because I've gotten used to drawing with just a tablet that doesn't have a display. And the Intuos has really good pen pressure as well, the Intuos Pro. that's really where I'm lacking right now is my stylus doesn't support as much of the pen pressure, and it also doesn't have pen tilt, which I'm not even sure if I like using at this point because I've gotten used to not having it, but I definitely need better pressure sensitivity. It would make blending so much easier. Yeah, Cintiqs can be unwieldy. I was looking at the oh God, what's it called? There's one that can do 4K now. It's not the Cintiq. It's like HD Pro Cintiq. They have a 13-inch and a 16-inch in that one, not like the big Cintiqs that are the 22 and 24-inch. I think that one would be a little bit better for me personally, just because I like to be able to hold my tablet in my lap. It's just what I like to do. Yeah, maybe it's the Cintiq Pro. It just came out recently, and I haven't been doing a ton of research on Cintiqs because I honestly don't plan on getting one anytime soon. So it will probably be a few generations ahead when I'm looking at making that investment. I have other things that I'd rather get first. Like I do want to upgrade my tablet, but I'll just get the Intuos Pro. And then I want to get a printer so I can print my own stuff because I don't have a good printer. And I'd also like to get a scanner so I can scan my traditional pieces and make prints of those. The money from this commission will go towards my Intuos Pro fund. I don't know if I want the medium or the large. I think the medium's probably the size that I would enjoy using the most. But really, I feel like it matters what tablet you have. You do have certain like restrictions, but you can make super high quality work without. Like, I feel like I've been able to really improve and learn even on the hardware I'm using right now. So, I'm not exactly sure like what I'm gonna be doing with her hair color. She seems to change her hair a lot. So, soften that angle a little bit. The corner here. That's better. Okay. Maybe now I can start adding color. I'll erase my little cross guide here. I've used that little comic book trick ever since I started drawing years and years and years ago. I don't do it every single time anymore, but I generally, I don't even think about it. That's just how I start a face. Okay, so now it's going to be time to make clipping masks. Should probably actually draw the other side of her necklace. Okay, cool. Sorry, you've been messaging me and I'm not. This piece is not going to be a print. It's a Etsy storefront. It's like the icon that pops up for a storefront. So this she makes circlets like crowns. I'm gonna draw the crown in later because she wanted me to do a couple variations on the image. So right now I'm just painting the character, but it's all like fantasy, like cosplay kind of stuff. So she wanted an image of herself as an elven goddess. Yeah, it's fun. Making avatars is always fun. This is basically the same thing I do, like if someone wanted their Twitch like profile picture or Instagram or, anything like that for a page, this is basically the same process. I'm going to have to make a couple other images because there's a banner on Twitch that's like a long rectangle, so I'll have to. I'm doing all three of them for her. Okay, cool. Let's make clipping masks. Oh hey, is that a Twitch follow? I think that I just got a new follow. Gravity Bee, thank you for following. Sorry, I've got to pull it up like that. I get the notification, but I don't get it doesn't say who, so. And I only have one monitor, so I've got to do the desktop display. Thank you so much for the follow. I'm glad you're enjoying my work. This is a bit different from what I usually do. I do enjoy doing these portraits, but I do a lot of like high fantasy scenes. This is a personal piece I'm working on right now. He's a bard and he plays the violin. So that's what I'm going to be working on after I'm done with this today. Yep, I'm streaming on Watch Me Work and Twitch. I will. There's my Twitch if you want to give me a follow. Just so anyone out in my Twitch stream knows, Watch Me Work is a site where you can watch artists work. There's all kinds of different people doing work on there. It's a bit smaller community, but the cool thing about it is they'll pair artists together. The artist I'm paired with today isn't on voice, so we're not like talking, but I am paired with someone right now. Where is it? I'm not sure what he's working on. He's coding something. I don't really know. Way over my head. That's what that is. But anyways, I'm going to get back to my painting. So I am doing clipping masks now, and what that is It lets me section off areas of my painting. So I'm going to make a mask just for the skin. And the way I'm going to do that, there's a couple ways to do it, but I like to grab a like medium value skin color. She's pretty fair, so I'm going to maybe a little bit more towards pink. Yeah, I'll grab that one. Okay. And I want a different brush. There we go. I'm just going to trace along the outside of where I'm doing the skin. And then I'll fill it with a solid color afterwards. And this is going to really help me out when I start painting, because I can use really big brushes without going over the lines, which will give a nice blended look to the painting. It's a pretty easy process once you learn how to do it. It's a little tedious to do. Oh, thanks for saying hi, Gravity Bee. I don't get audio notifications for my Twitch. Hey, I got another subscriber. I bet that's Artmanda. Thanks for subscribing. Yay. This is a fun stream. So yeah, this part of the painting isn't particularly fun, but it saves so much time later and really improves your workflow. It's like my number one like Photoshop trick. It's not my trick, like every illustrator uses clipping masks, but I'm not really too worried about going over the edge a little bit for this one because the hair layer is going to be on top of the skin layer anyways. So it's okay if it's not, if my edge isn't perfect right there. And I'm almost ready to make the mask, so I'll show you guys how it works once I get all finished here. You want to make sure that all your shapes are closed. That's really important. There's no space between it. No little gaps in your line, because if you do, when you go to make your selection, it will when you go to make your selection, it will select the whole painting and you won't be able to fill properly. So make sure all your lines are closed. I don't need any of these sketchy bits here. You can have two separate shapes, like I've got one here below the hair, and then I've got one above the hair. Oh yeah, and I need to do her ear. If you guys are interested, I can find a link for a tutorial on how to do this. That's how I learned. I found it on YouTube. So just let me know if you're interested. Bye, nobody. Thanks for stopping by. And yeah, okay, you know how to use clipping masks. Okay, but this is the fun part. Well, it's still not super fun because clipping masks aren't like super fun, but okay, so I go to my magic wand tool, make a selection, hold down shift and select the other areas, because when you hold down shift, that little plus sign shows up on the magic wand. So I've got all of my skin areas selected now. Then I move to the marquee tool and go to Select, Modify, Expand. I'm expanding my selection. I've got a pretty thick line there, so I can probably do like 10 pixels. If you don't expand the selection when you use this method, you will end up with a white halo around your area instead of just like a solid color. So you always have to expand your selection. And then you just right click on your area here, go to Fill, make sure it says foreground color, opacity 100%. Okay, and there it is. There's my mask. So what I can do with that now, I just moved it underneath my sketch layer for now so that I can still see the details on the face. What I can do now is create a new layer and do like skin shading. You hold down the Alt key over here on the layers. Oh, it just occurred to me that my Twitch overlay probably is not showing you my layers. There we go. I turned my overlay off for a moment. You go over here to your layers, hold down the Alt key, and when you get between the two layers, I've got my shading layer and my mask layer, this little box shows up that has an arrow on it, and you just click, and now this layer is slaved to the layer underneath it, the skin layer, and it has a little arrow right here to show you that. And what I can do now is I can paint on this layer. Grab a great big brush. I can paint on this layer and see I'm using a gigantic brush. I have it's so big that I have Photoshop lag. I have a gigantic brush, but nothing's going outside the lines. So that's how you create clipping masks in Photoshop. I had a hard round on. Why did I do that? Soft round, please. I'm not actually going to be doing shading at the moment, but since I put that in, I'll at least kind of get rid of the awkward stuff and I'll leave a little bit of it. And I just noticed something on my mask layer. Do that switch? Okay. There's a little area down here where my mask wasn't necessarily super clean. So I'm just filling that in. So I get that sometimes because my lines aren't the cleanest lines. Accuracy with line work is not my strong suit. So yeah, now I'm going to make a mask for her hair and another one for her clothing. And then I'll get started with shading everything. I think I'm going to make the base color brown. Because I think she's a natural brunette and she like does like cool like ombre things to it. So we're just going to do that and hair mask. Actually, I usually don't name it mask. I usually go with base. I try to keep things organized. It's a struggle. But I tend to be a messy painter. It's nice in Photoshop because the mess, I don't have to clean it up afterwards. But if I don't really make sure that I'm organizing things, it will just be not fun for me later on. I don't always set up clipping masks for everything. You can accomplish the same thing. If you want to paint on just one layer, you can do the same thing with the lasso tool to select areas so you don't go outside the lines. I do that a lot. It just depends on the kind of work I'm doing. Yes, it is very useful. It's gonna save me a lot of time once I start painting. I mean, some people would go in and make a separate mask for like the eyes and the eyebrows and actually I could put the eyebrows on the hair mask, but I'm just going to treat the face and the skin as one thing. Um, the tutorial I was talking about for it is from a YouTuber called Draw with Jazza. I don't know why I only need to do the edges. What am I doing? uh, silly me. Okay, well, I was supposed to go down like this. It's because I'm talking and painting at the same time. But anyways, the tutorial I used to learn how to use clipping masks is from a YouTuber called Draw with Jazza. Um, he's a very good teacher. His art style isn't my favorite, but his tutorials are easy to follow, and he is a very good teacher. Um, what's going on with this hair? I don't know what I'm doing there. Yeah. Am I going to do Arc Inktober? Not every day. I might do an ink drawing in Inktober just to get the views. But I haven't done any of those. Like Mermaid is another one. Junicorn. Draw a unicorn every day in June. I think they're fun, but I don't know. I don't like to do pieces specifically for social media. I like to do pieces that I feel like will benefit me, benefit my art. Um, and because I'd like to work for a like game companies and stuff. So I'm trying to make work that will get me somewhere as far as that. I'm trying to make portfolio pieces when I'm not doing client work. Bailey J, I'm not familiar with her channel. I'll have to check it out. Are you going to do Inktober? I'm trying to get better at social media though. My new thing is I do a sketch. I think there's a link to my Instagram underneath on my stream. Um, and I'll put it into my window on Twitch. I try to do a sketch, like a warm-up sketch before I start working on my bigger piece during the day. And I've been trying to upload those sketches to social media just to so that I have a presence every day. But it's still like work that I generally try to work on things in my sketchbook that I feel weak on, like hands or although I don't think I've uploaded any of my hand drawings to Instagram. I don't know if that makes sense. Social media is super useful, but I think it can also be distracting. That's my 2 cents. The ones I focus on the most are my art station. I upload all of my best pieces to my paintings and really good character design because that's a really professional website. And Instagram is really good for getting a lot of traffic. And then DeviantArt is the other one that I've been focusing on a little, trying to focus on more lately. You should do it. Any like excuse to like draw every day is good. I wasn't trying to like bash on it. It's just not necessarily for me. Um, but you totally should do it. And I'm following you, so I'll see your pieces. Okay, so I've got the hair outline, but I think I want like a couple little pieces in here that aren't part of the rest of it. I want to be able to see the background through. So be a small one here. I can always erase out areas that I want to not be part of the hair later too, but I'll get started with it now. Let's do a couple over here. I think that I had this was going to be a piece. Do another one here. I feel like this stage, the clipping masks, I don't particularly love doing this part, so I worry that it's like mind-numbingly boring on a stream. It's like eating your vegetables when you want to have candy. Okay, maybe one more little piece, like right in here, maybe. I might move all of these later. I'm just trying to map out as much of it as I can now before I get too deep into shading everything. Okay, let's switch to the magic wand again. This is where I often discover that I have not closed my shapes. I did a good job this time though. Cool. Alright, back to the marquee tool. Select, modify, expand by 10 pixels. Then fill, foreground color, opacity 100%. And there we go. And that's going to go on top of the skin. We can deselect now. And there's a few little areas that didn't fill in 100%. So I'm going to go back in with my brush tool. I think I actually had a little area that I wanted to be open here. That's alright. I can do that with the eraser. Well, good. I'm glad you're going to do it. That'll be a good project for you. I'm just trying to make sure that there's no like weird gappy pieces in my base here because that affects, if the layer isn't completely opaque, it affects whatever color you put on top of it. Isn't going to be completely opaque either. So, alright, but that looks pretty good now. I just have one more mask to make. Yay! And I'm not going to bother making the shading layer on top of it yet because I'm not going to shade yet. So, dress piece. Oh god, what color do I want this to be? Okay, I'm probably going to use purple in the hair. I know I'm going to use green, so purple and green are like two of my colors I'm going to be using. So, what's like good elf color? Because this has to read well from the icon. I'm going to do like lilac. That sounds pretty. Like a nice like pastel. Purple. Okay, here we go. So this is going to go on top of the hair layer. So other good thing to do is, wait, no, that's not what I meant to do. I should have done this before. You know what, I'm going to fix that later. To make sure there aren't any gaps between your layers, your color fields. And it's hard to see that sometimes when your line work is on. But I want to get the base of this at least put on first. The annoying part of this is going to be going along the bottom of the circle. I'm sure there's some cool like Photoshop way that I could create that shape perfectly, but I'm not aware of it, so I'm just gonna eyeball it and fix it a million times afterwards. Cool. Oh, oh, dropped my stylus. I'm trying to remember like when I started this. I think I'm like an hour and a half in. It doesn't look like a lot now, but the painting will go so fast with these big masks made. Right, that edge isn't perfect, but I'm going to be creating a border for this anyways, so it doesn't really need to be. Oh, God, I didn't even finish the inside of the neckline. Always remember to make sure your shapes are closed. Okay, cool. Oh, weird. I don't want that there. Magic wand. Select, modify, expand. 10 pixels. Fill. Yes. Cool. Yay. All right, it was nice meeting you too. Thanks for stopping by and keeping me company. And yeah, good luck to you too. Awesome. Oh, I need some water. I always forget to drink when I'm streaming. Mm. I should probably not have my Facebook open on my thing because it's going to give you guys weird notifications. There we go. Okay. What's up? I'm getting a message by my client. Okay. She's super excited about this, and I'm happy about that. It's good to have. All right. What do I want to work on first? Decisions, decisions. I'm gonna take like a quick little like bite out of my granola bar. Oh, I remember what I was going to do. I'm just cleaning up my edges a little bit more. It's easier to see when I don't have my line work on. God, you can see how like not smooth my edges are. You won't notice that very much at all once I add the values in and start actually painting. But it still will affect the finished piece, so I'm going to take a few minutes just to make this a little cleaner. I'm loving these elf ears. There's just something about elves. They're my favorite thing to draw. Like if you look through my sketchbook, it's all elves. I should have named my channel like Sindarin Arts. Sindarin is the elvish language. It's the Middle Earth elves. The Eldar are the ones that stayed in Valinor. I'm talking about Tolkien here. That's how much of a nerd I am. I was into elves before they were cool. I'm that girl. Okay, I'm not really seeing any other like weird gaps. It was mostly just the hair. I think the edge is a little dirty right here. Okay, turn the sketch layer back on. Go into the skin shading. I'm gonna make this brush a little smaller. This is my hard round blender. It's like, imagine like a flat brush if you were working traditionally. Okay, what am I doing with stuff and things? Alright, I think I'm gonna keep the eyes like pretty like neutral, not too colorful, and then give like a pop of color on the lips. I don't know. I might change my mind. I'm trying to figure out what color her eyes are. I don't know if they're like green or brown. I think they're probably brown, but these things can be hard to tell sometimes. Oh god, what did I do? What is that? Okay, there we go. Oh. Don't know what that was. Okay, cool. I don't want that on the brown. I want it on black. So, this contour line is not going to stay here. I'm just drawing it in as a guide for the top of the eye. Just go for it. eyebrows are super important. She's got like really defined brows, so make this brush smaller. This one I'm using now has a little bit softer edge, but it's still relatively hard. I don't use a lot of really soft brushes in Photoshop. I feel like if I get her eyebrows right, it will look like her. It's not always the case. Sometimes they're like, I have to get the eyes right for this person, or I have to get their, jawline right. This one, it's all in the eyebrows. Her brow game is strong. Okay, let's make this bigger now. I might change this color scheme to be a little bit more exciting. I don't know if earth tones is going to be like, yay, look at this like piece that you did in earth tones. I'm not liking this brush anymore. I'm switching to something else. Oh yeah, duh, that's not the one. This is my blending brush. I forgot that I altered it and stuck it at the bottom there. I need to reorganize my brushes. That's better. Not like perfect. I haven't found Photoshop brushes that I'm in love with. Maybe a little bit of like gold or something in the middle of her eyes would be nice. Actually, you know what? I'm going to switch back to the pencil brush for doing the top of her lid. I feel like it's just going to give the kind of line that I want. Looks like she usually like takes her eyeliner down a little bit onto the bottom. So let's not do that with the pencil brush though. I'll try this one. I haven't used this one in a while. This has got some interesting like texture on the edges. I used to use it a lot for blending and then for some reason I stopped. I made my own brushes a while ago. Well, I modified brushes to try and make ones that I like, but I'm still not 100% sold. Let's make that bigger. Give her like a nice highlighted area here. And let's go into the sketch layer and erase information that we don't need anymore. All that is just distracting. Well, let's quickly do this. Hope everyone's having a good morning. Or might be nighttime depending on where you are. I am streaming from the States, so yeah. I'm having a pretty good day so far myself. Oh crap, I just painted all of that on the sketch layer. Ugh. Yeah, not that color. I doing? Pay attention, girl. Get it together. Just gonna like close that shape off. Okay, cool. Let's keep going. I'm making a highlighted area here. That is like almost white though, so I have to think about my colors here. Let's grab something kind of purpley for the shadows. Like daylight kind of down in there maybe. Oh, that's a little too purpley. I'll blend all of this out. There's not going to be a streak of purple on her face. But want the light to be coming basically from the front. I'm going to have some cool like atmospheric lighting coming from the back. But for now... Oop, oh god, I hate it when I do that. Clear guides. I'm giving her a very like glamorous, like if she was in a magazine kind of lighting here. Her cheeks to be nice and rosy. She wears her blush like on the top of the cheekbones. She'll have a little bit of shading underneath her lip. What color do I want the lips to be? What's a good color for the image versus a good color for an elf? I'm thinking maybe like a mauve color. Like, thinking this family, like kind of plummy situation going on. Using a gigantic brush for this right now, but just trying to establish some base colors. Am I still... Okay, so I'm next in line to be paired. Cool. Do I have anyone in the chat? For some reason I can't pull that up. There we go. No. Okay, cool. Alright, so I'm going to go back into my face color, and I'm going to grab like a grayish brown color as the other shadow colors. So her cheeks are really full, so I can't... Any like contouring on the face needs to be really subtle here. Those gorgeous cheeks. Let's get some like yellow color switch to something I said I don't do very much. Switch to a soft round for that. Make that a lot bigger. What did I just do? Ugh. Fighting with my Photoshop here. I don't know, I'm just kind of, I'm wanting a warmth in the image, so kind of thinking that I might have some sunlight or something coming down and hitting certain parts of her face. Down here some. Let's grab some of that pink. Put that down here. So yeah, this part of the painting looks like I'm doing things really fast. Which I kind of am. I'm blocking it in. I want a little bit more red here. Always like to have some red underneath on the ears, because get that a lot in ears. There's more red. Actually, I'm going to grab a little bit of that. That on the nose, too. Yes. Yes, queen. Okay, let's grab this color here and this guy. Okay, I was kind of thinking that I wanted some more natural looking shadows under here. She gets like a cute, like, shadow under her eyes when she's smiling. I think I kind of missed the shape of the eyes a little bit. I think they're more like that when she's smiling. I want to block in a color for the eyes. Probably going to change it, but it's bothering me that there's nothing in there right now. Oh, and I'm starting to see her more now that I have pupils. Memo to self, draw pupils, like, right away. Okay, cool. So she doesn't have, like I was saying, she's got hooded eyes. So it's more of a, you don't see like the defined crease in hooded eyes. It's more like the way you do makeup for hooded eyes, and this is the way I'm going to shade for hooded eyes, is you start with the darkest color and then you get lighter as you go up. You create like a gradient from most intense to lightest color. And then she's always got that really nice highlighted bit right under her brow bone. So that's really important too. There, that feels better, that I got rid of the crease shape. it's easy to always like draw eyes the same way because you kind of get used to it, especially as like a fantasy artist. Like most of the time, I'm not always grabbing photo references, so I'm just inventing the faces, and it's easy to go about it the same way every time. But you have to kind of really like think about what the shape is for your subject if you want to be more realistic and more accurate. That blend isn't perfect, but I need to go into the sketch layer really quick and get rid of some of these ugly, sketchy, dirty lines. I don't need them anymore. I always erase my sketch layer like as I go because I like to keep it so that I feel like there's some information on areas of the painting that I haven't painted in yet. So I just am constantly going in with my eraser tool and slowly backing away. Okay, so I'm just going to use this brush because this is working out pretty well. So I'm going to use this one to make her eyeliner. I think I went a little too thick there. Messed up the shape. And she's always got that nice like highlight in the inner corner. Make sure to get that there. Pretty. It's nice when you're working on a piece to be happy where it is, even in the early stages. I did everything right this time. I made sure to keep it all clean. It took a little bit longer getting this started than I normally would doing this kind of piece. Like when I draw this kind of avatar kind of thing just for fun, not for a client, I feel like I move faster, but I also, there's not like the pressure to like get it all right, you know. Let's just make these edges look nice. Cool. I was watching a YouTube tutorial the other day, and there's an artist talking about how she thinks about shading faces, and she was talking about using hard shadows and soft shadows, and a mixture of both is important to make the face look nice. I've never really like thought of it critically like that, but it's so true. You want some places to be really sharp, but on faces especially, you want some areas to be nice and soft too. I feel like I exaggerate the smile a bit. Could I mess that up a little? Yeah, that feels better. There we go. Just have to fix the shape of the pupils. I'm messing up all my shadows underneath the eye. Oh well. Oh, nope. Silly me. I think that was a notification. There's another streamer named Pomelin, or that's her online name. I don't know what her actual name is. She's a really good streamer. She streams on Creative on Twitch. I think that was a notification that she's about to start. She does some really nice fantasy art, fan art kind of stuff. just need to fix the shadows under the eye. Let's make this brush a little bigger. Just kind of softly stick that in there. There, lighten, get a little bit of like a orangey color in here. I've got a lot of purple tones in the painting, so like purpley blue tones react well to orange and yellow. Here, that's good for now for the eyes. I'll revisit them. But I want to work on the nose now. My dog's dreaming. I just noticed my mic was tilted away from me. Hopefully you guys could still hear me. I always enjoy painting noses. I don't know why, they're fun. I'm going to go into the sketch layer and erase once again. I don't need it anymore. It's always nice to go in and do that. Alright, a little bit darker. Make my brush a little smaller. Smaller. Too small. That's about right. You guys probably can't tell how big my brush is. For some reason it always makes your cursor huge on streams. I don't know what does that. Maybe it's something in OBS. But I want to keep all this shape. Oh God. I've been painting on this sketch layer. What am I doing with my life? Okay, what did I actually do? Oh. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to erase it. That's so annoying. Oh well. There should not be any paint on the sketch layer. Okay. Let's do everything we just did, but again. It's been forever since I did a piece with just like front lighting. Oh, hey, I'm paired with someone. Hey, Kenny! It's someone that I've been paired with before. It's so nice to be paired with you again. How have you been? I'm good. I'm really good. I'm working on a commission. Today's been a really like good day for me, like getting jobs, art jobs wise. So I'm pretty happy. How about you? Oh, I need this to be darker. Thank you. Yeah, I'm pretty happy about it. Like I said, this is a fun piece to work on. I mean, it's a commission and I get to paint an elf. Like I'm doing a portrait of her as an elf. And it's for her Etsy store because she makes like the circlets. See the image right over here? She made this headpiece. So that's what her Etsy store is for. I haven't painted the circlet on her yet because there's going to be a couple of variations on the image. So I'm doing the base character and then I'll do like the headpieces on top. But yeah, I'm super duper happy about it. You know what? Um, I know what her favorite shade of lipstick is, so she loves this one shade. Actually, you know what? No, I don't want to look at the store. I want to go here. She likes purple lipstick. Okay, so that's like my reference image. It's like purple with like a pinky undertone. Cool. Okay, so I will sample that. Go back to watch me work. I haven't read that. What are you working on today, Kenny? It looks like you haven't quite started yet. Okay, that looks more like in the realm of the lipstick that I was looking at. Let's make this brush like way smaller. Okay, so she has like gorgeous full lips. I'm jealous. This is actually a friend of mine from college. So it's nice because I know her too. Yeah, I think the purple's gonna work well. Are you making more, are you doing more like 8-bit, like pixel work today? It looks like you've got that same program open. Oh, cool. That'll be fun. I I've been looking into making my own avatars for Twitch. I'm just gonna put my social into my Try to do that every once in a while so anyone new coming in can see that. Anyways, I was saying I've been looking at making emotes for Twitch. Um, and I found a site where you can do it, and you just have to like have your image be a certain size, you know. So I think I'm gonna probably make some, maybe not like right away because I don't have a ton of viewers, but I feel like it would be cool to be like able to share that with people that come into my channel like, hey, here's some custom emotes that I made for Vulpine Arts. They've got to have like little foxes on them or something. For some reason, I thought making an emote would be more difficult than that, but actually seems pretty simple. Once I'm done with the paintings I'm working on now and then my commission work, I'll probably look into it a bit more. I'm hoping to get this all done tomorrow, maybe even today, depending on how much time I can put into it. It's only 10 o'clock and I started this from scratch on my stream at like, I think it was like not even 8 o'clock when I started. You live in the Philippines, right, Kenny? Oh, yeah, I have a Discord channel that I made for my stuff, so I'll invite you. Copy, paste. There you go. That's my Vulpine Arts. So official. Let's go just off black. Hey! Hold my beer. That's funny. You're in my Discord. Got like 4 or 5 people in there now. You should send me a friend request too. If we're not friends already, I can't remember. Okay, so I want the edges to be like a little bit more pink. It's a little bit too bright. Something along this line. That's pretty. Yes. I'm so excited to show her this. She's gonna like love it. Maybe if I switch to like a more like blue color, you could put some like, I don't know, just playing. Yeah, I like that. A little bit different color there. Oh, that's awesome. Good for you. I built my PC a few years ago, but we sunk a lot of money into it so that it would last, and I've upgraded it a few times. So it's always nice to get that upgrade after you've been waiting for so long. I'm just getting rid of my sketch layer again, because I don't need these messy lines underneath everything. I would recommend having a solid state hard drive for all of your programs, and then using like a regular hard drive for all your storage so that you'll load things really quickly that way. That's what I've got, and I love it. My computer's so fast. I'm just going to erase everything on the ears too because I don't need that information. I know what I'm going to do to the ears. Yeah, I'm getting there on this. I'd say I've got a decent likeness. So it just occurred to me that it's a little off center in her face, like she's looking over a little bit. That's fine. I think it's because I've been referencing a photo where she's looking off to the side this whole time that it just kind of ended up happening. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to erase the edge of my skin mask here. Maybe I went a little too far. There we go. And then go into hair base. Yeah, it's coming along pretty nicely. Happy with it so far. I'm going to switch to a different brush though, because I feel like I'm kind of losing texture. I try not to... Oh shit. Excuse my cursing. I'm on the wrong layer. There we go. Some of that up in there. This brush has a little bit more like texture, so it'll be good to add in some marks. Yeah, she sells circlets for like cosplay. Like you see this headpiece that she's wearing in my reference photo. That's the kind of thing that she makes. They're super cool. Oh, why do I have... Ugh, just fixing the hairline here. I could link the shop. I think I have it pulled up still. Is this it? No, no, no. Yeah, here it is. She just made the shop, so she's working on more listings. But yeah, it's totally up my alley. This is kind of a perfect fit for the two of us, me doing this. Because she's so into anything fantasy and elves, and we've got a lot of the same interests. It's always nice getting paid for making art. I'm going to change the color of the circle here. Okay, so I want this to be like yellow, I think. I like yellow for the background this time. Pretty light yellow too. Alright, let's see how that looks. I think I want it even lighter actually. I'll suggest that to her. I've got to run for just a minute. I will be right back. I'm just going to throw up my BRB banner here. All right, I am back. I'm gonna stick my glasses on because I'm starting to get headache. Okay, back to it. I'm going to grab a soft round brush just for doing some larger areas on her chest. Oh, that's too big. There we go. This is just to like hint at the forms. I generally don't like, I've mentioned this a few times in this stream actually, I generally don't like soft round brushes, but for doing something like that's really big and vague and supposed to be blurry, it's alright. Alright, now I'm going to switch back to my other one. I'm going to use this guy because I don't need a ton of texture on this part of the painting. I can't remember when I started. I think I started around like 8 o'clock my time, so like 2.5 hours, maybe a little bit longer. Which means I'm making pretty good progress on this. I'm still going to go back into the face. It's just, I try not to like finish one part of the painting before I get everything developed. Because I find if I bring it all up at the same time, it looks more consistent. So I kind of bounce around a lot. Gonna need some hard shadows on the ears. So let's switch to my flat brush. There's a streamer named Amber Harris Art. Well, that's not her name, obviously, but that's her stream name. And she shared with me like a post that she had made on Tumblr about how she modified basic Photoshop brushes to make ones that she likes a lot. And there's one that looks like just like pencil when you're doing a line drawing. And there's another one that's the one I'm using now that's like a flat round brush that feels like it feels like a flat brush for if you're like into like traditional painting. And then there's another one that she uses for blending that's basically the flat round with um, just a little bit softer. But it was fun because that information like gave me enough information to start modifying brushes to be like how I like. Because I had never done that before. I'd always just like, I need to find this perfect brush pack from from someone that's pre-made. But now I can take brushes that I kind of like, but I wish there was something different, and I actually know what the different things actually do, which is nice. I did not have that knowledge before. I always feel good when I like pick up something new in Photoshop. I've got a weird situation going on with the edge of this ear. Here we go. That's much better. Yeah, well, I'm not really confident enough in my skills to sell my brushes, but um, it's nice to be able to do it for myself so that I have brushes that I like. It can be frustrating going from traditional to digital and feeling like you lose all of the tactile quality of painting. Okay, I think I'm going to stop working on the skin for just a little bit and start in on the hair, which is going to be fun because she's got like, she's, I've seen her have like every single hair color in the universe, so this will be interesting. Okay, hair shading. Okay, cool. Um, Start with a soft round, just to put in some base color here. How big do I want it? Not that big. I don't know why the slider goes from like, okay, this is a decent size to like, whoa, 5,000 pixels. Right, it looks like she's got some pretty light areas. Oh, I should probably make that a clipping mask. There we go. Anyway, she's got some pretty, where her hair hits the sun in this picture down here, it gets pretty light. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna give her like an ombre hair thing going on that's gonna go from brown to purple at the bottoms. Okay, so now I go darker and block in dark pieces. Okay, and what kind of purple do I want here? She's got like a, well, I guess I could color sample from it. That would be easy. There we go. Yeah, I'll just block that in. I want the color change to be somewhere around there, actually. So, slightly different approach. I go on to the hair base really quick. So I'm seeing some areas that I need to, I'll just use this brush. Seeing some areas I need to make look a little bit more solid. There's a couple little spots. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Yeah, right? I don't think I'm going to do that many variations, but you know what I should do is I should block the colors in and one, or the values in one layer and then use an overlay layer to color it in case she wants me to change it. So since she makes circlets, I'm going to make the border around the portrait look like a circlet. It's going to have like elven filigree on it. I'll have to get started on that pretty soon. Yeah, I thought so. I like to think that I'm clever sometimes. Sorry, sitting here texting during a stream, but sometimes you just have to answer. Okay, what next? Oh God. I guess I should keep working on the hair. Get that kind of done. But should I do... I don't know if I want to do the value layer, because I'm pretty sure she's going to like this. I mean, that's her hair color. I think I just want to paint it and not worry about... If she wants it changed, I can just use an overlay layer on top of that. It's not a big deal. So... let's grab this guy. Go with a lighter color. Okay, let's grab something brighter to use for highlights. Ugh, that edge does not look good. Oops. I haven't even gotten to the fun part of this yet. All the lighting. It's my favorite part, I think, once I get the base laid down and my rendering, when I can start adding like cool effects. Yeah, always have to add the drama. I'm not going to get too complicated with it with this because, like I said, this is going to be a small icon, but I'm definitely going to be using some color dodge, some soft light layers. Okay, how much further do I want to take the hair before adding in some tricks? Actually, you know what? I'm going to change my brush to multiply. Make it very big. And actually, I want to switch to a soft round. Not quite that big. That's good. And I'm gonna grab like that color. I'm just gonna. Oop. Actually, that's a little too big. So I've got this brush set to multiply at the moment. I'm just using it to put some shadows in without destroying what's underneath. Maybe I should have been using this one. I think the soft round is giving it a weird texture. I'm gonna grab this and do like thing brighter, a little bit more purpley. Switch it to soft light. Oops, I'm on the wrong thing now. There we go. Needs to be even brighter. Oh wait, oh. How am I gonna get around that? I was thinking of doing like a glow coming from behind her head. You know what? Let's just see if it works. Return this to soft light or soft brush. Too big. That'll be okay. Take down the opacity. opacity a little more. Go to my thing, make this soft. Turn the opacity down on that. And also make it bigger. Okay. Oh, hey there, Dip Texture. How are you this morning? I'm gonna change. I started early today, so I think I started streaming at like, I don't even remember, like 7:38. Alright, so I'm gonna grab some of these darker colors, go to normal, grab, I started a new piece, obviously. Um, it's a commission. I'm doing a avatar for someone's Etsy store. She sells circlets, like a cosplay jewelry. So I get to paint an elf with cool jewelry and get paid for it. It's a good job. I forget that you're in California. Kenny, Dev Textures are another illustrator. His work is so good. Are you still working on the Dragonborn commission, or are you starting something new? Oh yeah, you told me that. Is that the campaign where you're playing your dwarf guy? I really should, like, actually make this color or this piece of hair go in front of everything because I keep clipping it when I'm trying to shape the hair behind it. Uh, okay. I'm gonna work on her pendant. I think I'm gonna introduce some like blue-green colors here. I think that's labradorite in her pendant. It isn't really blue-green, but feel like this is going to work well with the color scheme for this. And she's got it in like a copper setting, so. Oh, I still have this set to something weird. Yeah, this piece just kind of this commission just rolled in this morning, so I set the other stuff I had working on to the side, obviously, because I get paid for this one. I'm in my Discord server too, if you want to jump in. Totally up to you. At least I think I'm in my Discord server. Oh, apparently it kicked me out because I was AFK. Yeah, getting paid is always nice. Hey there! Pretty good. I'm happy today.
That's good.
I
Happy
got
days are only smoking.
yeah, I got a commission and I woke up to I actually had an email from someone who had looked at my art station. It was like a art director for an app and they were interested in hiring me. It was completely not the kind of work that I would do, but it was nice that someone was looking at my art station.
I feel like I should probably get around to making an art station now. So I've not
Yeah,
heard many people having luck with it. Maybe I could try that.
I haven't had like don't have many followers on it. I don't have many views, but apparently someone that has hiring power was looking at it, so
Nice.
definitely worth
Well,
making it.
congrats.
Yeah. It was like it was for a site that does you know those little like bit comet comics on like Facebook and stuff.
I do not.
Oh,
That's because I don't browse Facebook.
basically it doesn't and it wouldn't involve as much like character design as like you take their avatar and pose it and it reacts to different things and you paint in the environment around it.
Ah,
And it was like an hourly job, but
and
it
that's
wasn't really
probably better
something.
than what I make.
Well, if you're interested, I could send you the information.
Uh,
I'm gonna hold out for something that's more, in line with what I've been trying to do, but that's the first kind of interest on that level that I've had in anything that I've done. So
well,
it's
congrats.
just nice to be noticed. Thank you. Thank you. I feel like a real artist.
I still don't. Yeah, I posted the work in progress in my Dragonborn in my art Discord where my that I work with, basically my work buddies, and
hmm
immediately they were like, "This is wrong. This isn't correct. This is wrong." I'm like, "Shit, you're right." So I'm in the process of like flipping his legs around, moving his feet. I have to repaint one of his arms. It's a process.
Yeah.
That's
That's
why
why
I'm
your
trying to rush
paintings
through
look
it.
so nice though. Like they look very accurate once you're done with them because you take the time to make sure it's
I
done.
try. Most of the accuracy comes from my friends knowing more than I do, and then me attempting to put into place what they suggest and only partially succeeding. Generally, I just shoot for good enough.
Yeah, there comes a time when you're working on a piece. There's like you can't keep working on it forever.
I still average like 20 plus hours of painting, so it's not like I'm working very quickly.
Me either. Although this one's coming along pretty quickly, but this is easy. This is just like a stylized portrait. So,
Yeah, portraits go a long way
and
quicker. I
it's
think I did
it's an
the dwarf one in like 8 hours.
yeah, this is an avatar for an Etsy store. So, it's going to be small anyways. Oh, do I still have that chain brush? Can I just cheat? I'd have to import it again. I can't remember which pack it was in.
It's not hard to make a chain brush.
Yeah, but I have one.
It's fair.
Load brushes. There's
Yeah,
a.
I find it's much easier to understand how to use a brush effectively if you make it yourself.
That's probably true. Okay, no, that's not the brush set that I wanted, so. Now I have to go to like. Wait. Where's the preset manager? I'm gonna end up with a ton of brushes because I can't find the set that I hit the chain brush in.
Yeah, I'm set somewhere around like
There it
a
is.
couple hundred. Yes.
Okay, just gonna make a new layer for this because I'm gonna get it wrong like 5 times. Because there's 2 different ones, and I don't know how big it is right now. Okay, that one's good. And we're just gonna. Okay, that doesn't look quite right. I had just recently gotten rid of like 3/4 of my brushes because I had so many that I didn't know how to use. So.
Yeah, I have to do brush purges every once in a while as well. Well, that's usually because it's like, oh, this is slowing Photoshop down.
I cheesed this so hard. I might hand paint some of it that looks a little bit more awkward. Like the connection right there.
Although sorry if I zone out a bit. I'm trying to kind of focus, and I occasionally end up in that hyper focus zone where just everything goes quiet essentially.
Oh, don't worry about it. I'm kind of doing the same thing. All right, bye, Kenny. Thank you so much. Oh, your little portrait came out really nicely too. That's so cool. That was fast. I guess using pixels might be a little quicker. Nice job. But I'll see you soon. Bye, Kenny.
I forgot how wrinkly lizards actually are.
Wrinkly what?
Lizards actually are.
Yeah, they can be, I guess. Are you using like references of like monitor lizards for your Dragonborn or
I just pulled up a bunch of just different random lizards
uh
as I'm going back and we're looking stuff. So,
like a Komodo dragon would be a good reference for
yep, that's what I used for its neck reference. And I used like a alligator for like the eye and stuff. So,
it's cool. I just realized this is the first time I've saved the image and I've been working on it for hours. That could have been so bad.
whoops, happens to everyone.
At least nothing horrible happened. Alright, I'm gonna take a little break, so I'm probably gonna end the stream and then start it up again in like half an hour or so.
All right.
So,
Have a good day.
yeah, see ya.
See you.